Hi, I'm Andy Wolf, Executive Director of the Albany Museum of Art. I would like to introduce you to Ashley Cecil, whose exhibition, Land That I Love, is now on view at the Albany Museum of Art. Becoming a mother and engaging in nature-based residency projects brought a revelation to Ashley and her work as an artist. Her vision of the parallels between the oppression of women and the domination of nature informs the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania-based artist's work. Land That I Love is a demand for better care for the environment and for all women. In this exhibition, Ashley brings together huge elements of feminism and environmentalism, often blurring the line between the two and making their significance inseparable.
Hi, I'm Ashley Cecil. I am one of the artists exhibiting at the Albany Museum of Art, and my exhibition is titled Land That I Love. I'm a Pittsburgh-based artist, but I'm originally from Louisville, Kentucky, and I thought a lot about the title of this show because I wanted it to be something that I thought would draw a connection to something that took me about 10 years to realize, which is that I think there are a lot of parallels between the ways that we treat women and the ways that we treat the earth. So Land That I Love is actually the second line in one of our most patriotic songs, which is God Bless America. So in that song we have a female gendered America and a blessing for her. So it was my way of trying to link the two together, because for at least a decade I've been making art about the connections between feminism and environmentalism, and it came about as two really important things happened in my life at the same time, which was that I started a family, and I was also doing a long string of artist residencies where I was at science and nature conservation organizations doing artwork about their research about environmentalism. And the last one was actually in Manaus, Brazil. So I traveled there with artists from all over the world who met in Manaus to spend 10 days on foot and by boat in the rainforest, learning about human impact on nature and listening to science lectures about the impact that we've had. And at the time, my second child was just a baby. So those two things together really changed my work entirely. And actually even this piece here called Broken Waters was one of the first pieces that I made in response to that, expressing my concern about their future. And this was really the beginning of everything in this show, Land That I Love. Everything went from my old equine paintings from when I used to live in Kentucky to things that had much more personal substance to me about those fears about the future for our planet and our children, but also like my deep love of it, how much I appreciate all this world has to offer, both the people in it and all the natural resources. So many of the paintings are metaphors and symbols about women, and in this show really using like the human body as a metaphor for land and Mother Nature. So there are a lot of really straightforward symbols for the human and female body, and some not quite as straightforward, but there's even an installation of piñatas that are all symbols for the female body, and the idea for that is that it's not uncommon for us to even make like our abuse of women into a form of entertainment, which is, you know, what we do with piñatas. It's a fun thing we do at social gatherings to beat something open to get these prizes and these candies. But in this case, these contents of the piñatas are all objects that people submitted to me through a public poll. I asked the question, if you were a piñata cracked open, what would fall out of you? So everything that are in these piles of these two piñata installations are objects that people, and there was no geographic parameters for it. People from anywhere could submit things that they felt like they hold deep within them, either that like the stories and things that they love that they're full of, or like the things that they that kind of like hold them together. So our hopes and our fears, all in these piles, these objects that I sourced to represent what they submitted. And it's everything from contraceptives to accomplishments and band-aids and knives and flowers and money, and a lot of really fantastic stories submitted to me. And then some of the more traditional 2D works are again, like just these metaphors for our forms, both landscapes, mountains, waterways, but also the female form.
The morning after Land That I Love opened at the Albany Museum of Art, Ashley conducted a painting workshop with Flint Riverkeeper, an organization that works to keep the Flint River watershed clean and healthy. The workshop illustrated her dedication to championing the environment through her art.
And being in Albany has been wonderful. I went to the aquarium yesterday, and it was really touching to see all these topographic maps showing many of the river systems and the waterways and the geography of the land that you absolutely see in this show for sure. And even today I'm working with the Flint River Keepers, sporting their gear. We're teaching a class on just that, the similarities between the ways that we contaminate bodies of the earth and watersheds being very similar to the ways that we contaminate ourselves, because of course everything we put into the water we consume eventually, whether that's pollution or microplastics. All of that ends up back in our human bodies. So I really appreciate all the ways that I'm finding those same messages with your all's local groups and many of the themes that are represented in these artworks. I think more than anything, I'm really appreciative when people come see my work and they say, now I realize this connection that you're making. There are people, even last night at the opening reception, who said, I hadn't thought about the ways that we maybe mistreat our sisters and our friends and our mothers that are similar to the ways that we're making public policy about the way we treat this land, our home. So I always appreciate those moments, and there were several of them last night, so that warms my heart that maybe it helps us realize these behaviors or maybe things we normalize that we don't even realize we're doing.
Ashley Cecil's exhibition, Land That I Love, continues through January 6th, 2024 in the Haley Gallery of the Albany Museum of Art. Admission to the museum is always free for everyone.